Welcome to the Awakened Human Podcast, the place to be for highly progressive yet extremely grounded intuitive guidance, energetic support, metaphysical tools, and higher consciousness for highly successful, ambitious, soul-centered visionaries and leaders like you who want to make a global impact and achieve your highest fulfillment by aligning with your soul's true divine agenda and your role in God's plan of lighted creation, and by utilizing your divine gifts, talents, and abilities from the higher realms. We do this by working with the non-physical realms of higher guidance, energy, intuition, and powerful metaphysical tools for healing and transformation. We understand that the real change and transformation that's being called for on planet Earth and in our own lives and our own businesses doesn't come from outside of us, but rather from within. And that the change that we desire to experience in our lives and in our world requires us to change from the inside. I'm your host, Lori Ann Spagna. I'm a best-selling author, spiritual catalyst, intuitive, energy worker, ascension guide, multidimensional channel, animal communicator, visionary, lightworker, and luminary. I have dedicated my entire professional life to helping thousands and thousands of humans and animals all over the world in service and contribution to the light, which is the expansion, the upliftment, the evolution of humanity, to awaken, to uplift, and to align with our true divine source, which exists within each and every one of us. It is my passion, joy, and purpose to share this information, energy, and consciousness with you. Thank you so much for being here today and for sharing time with me. Let's get started.
Blessings, beloveds. It's me, Lori Ann Spagna, here with you today. I just want to share what I think is some really great news for everyone with you today. And in my world, this is like so obvious, but for a lot of people, they don't know. So I think you're going to be really excited and happy to hear about a little bit about what I'm going to share with you today. And it's really simple. It's the turning point in the calendar year that's starting on this day, today, June 9th, 2025. And this turning point marks the completion of the first part of the year, which was full of a lot of hard angles and bumps along the way, to the second part of the year, which is a little bit longer than the second part because it's starting before the exact mid-date of the calendar year. And on this day, June 9th, it's officially when Jupiter, the planet Jupiter, moves out of the sign of Gemini and into the sign of Cancer. Now, why is this significant for everybody? Because you could say, well, I'm not a Cancerian. It's not really going to affect me that much. Let me break this down. And you don't have to understand astrology to get this. Jupiter is a planet of enlightenment, really. A lot of people, when I was learning astrology in the earlier days, I used to think, well, it's really more about Jupiter is this gift giver. Like it'll help you meet your romantic partner, or it'll bring you financial rewards and gifts, or it'll give you the things, the stuff you want. And while there is definitely some truth to that, what I will say is that the highest purpose of Jupiter is to up-level and expand consciousness. Now, Jupiter, overall, it's always somewhere in the skies. It's just that in the last position where it was Gemini for the last little bit over a year. Gemini is sort of like the two-faced. It shows you the dark and the light. So it was in a lot of ways, Gemini can be a very polarized sign. Gemini, the shadow aspect of Gemini is that they can be two-faced, or two sides to them, or the hidden side and the obvious side, right? Or the Jekyll and Hyde. That's the shadow side of Gemini. I mean, the light side of Gemini, not to get too derailed, is that it's all about higher learning. They're very smart. Geminis are really super smart and, light like the air. They're generally easygoing. They're super high consciousness overall, but there's always two sides. And Geminis in general are working through their own Jekyll and Hyde personalities, whether they realize it or not. And everyone has shadow stuff, so there's no wrongness there. Everybody has that. But you see, Jupiter in the sign of Gemini never really got to gain traction because it was exposing light and shadow, dark and light, polarities, extremes. And so the moment you kind of got like a little headway, then you'd sort of be knocked down by some shadow aspect of your own psyche, right? Or some dark agenda or some luge, right? Luge is just density, heavy emotions that were not light enough, right? Or some form of this duality experience. So you couldn't really gain a lot of traction with Jupiter in Gemini. And overall, the planet Jupiter does not necessarily feel as most at home in an air sign. It wants something deep. Jupiter always wants to expand with depth. So it tends to do always so much better in a water sign, which Cancer is. So Jupiter moving into Cancer now is going to be able to give you the depth and the richness and the fullness that it wasn't able to provide to you while it was in Gemini, because it was always giving you start, stops, highs, lows, expansion, contraction. But now Jupiter in a water sign of Cancer, where it's most at home, because Cancer loves depth. I'm a Cancer. I got 4 planets in Cancer, right? That's called a stellium. So Jupiter loves depth and loves expansion and loves anything it can sort of sink its teeth into, so to speak, to help expand, uplift, and elevate. And this is effective for the whole of humanity. Now, it's going to show you your emotional side. It's going to expand your capacity for love and all the emotions associated with Cancer, right? All those emotions associated with Cancer: love, compassion, caring, nurturing, home, things that we love and value as humans overall, feeling connected. These are all qualities of Cancerians. Nurturing, mothering, community, connection, home, what home is, the emotional body. Now, Jupiter in the sign of Cancer overall is just going to really be very positive for us. Now, it's always ultimately what you make of it, because you're a free will choice being, and you could choose anything. You could choose to have a bad attitude. You could choose to complain. You could choose to whine. You could choose to talk about how it's not working for you. Nothing's working for you. It hasn't worked for you. And then you'll continuously co-create or create that experience for yourself. I call that miscreating, because you don't necessarily mean to create that, right? But I've had students in my classes, they're like, why isn't it working for me? And I'm like, well, look at your attitude, right? Because you're miscreating. You have to take responsibility with Jupiter in the house of Cancer, because that's a shadow aspect of Cancer, is they overgive and then they can become martyrs. I certainly have had to work on that myself in this lifetime. We could overgive and then become, not realize we're trying to be people pleasers, right? So that can be exposed in you if that exists in you, the people pleaser, the overgiver, or the part of you that's taking care of everyone else, not taking care of yourself. That can be exposed with Jupiter. The part of you that feels like a victim, that can be exposed with Jupiter in Cancer. Or the part of you that feels underloved or undercared for, right? Jupiter can expose that. But overall, even if it's going to expose those parts, it's going to call you to greater love. Cancerians have so much joy. They love being joyful, playing, innocent, sweetness. I mean, Cancerians, to me, I love Cancerians. One of my favorite signs, right? So it's going to expose all those beautiful things that want to be loved and nurtured inside of you and cared for and paid attention to. And all the parts of you that can love and care for yourself and others even better. And all the parts of you that are love. Isn't that what we say so much in the spiritual and metaphysical community? We say we are love. The truth is we are consciousness, but love is part of consciousness. Love is an energetic vibration within consciousness. And so it's going to expose that in ourselves. And this is all so beautiful. And we have this now for another year plus, year and a month plus, and plus probably a little more with retrogrades. So let that come out in you. Now, I do want to invite you this Thursday, I'm doing a manifestation circle. And, I started way back when Pluto was moving through my first sign, and I was going through my Pluto transformation. Pluto will transform everybody, right? I started getting into manifestation and the joy of manifestation and the fun of it. It's so fun. Over the years, I've played with manifestation. It's a great time when Jupiter moves into Cancer to be manifesting. Why? Because Jupiter is the gift giver. It does give gifts. It'll give monetary gains. It'll give financial rewards. It'll give community and connection in Cancer. It'll give new homes. In the first week of Cancer, of Jupiter going into Cancer, which it's official today, but the first week of June, in 1 week, got invited to 2 major podcasts to speak on. I found a new home in a totally new location, beautiful home. I would like to show it to you. I'll show it on my next podcast. Right on the river, right on the water. Some new people came into my community, new clients, new connections. I bought a new car that was kind of, in a way, through manifestation, bought for me, like it was gifted. It's just amazing, right? And you can have these gifts too, right? Of course, they're going to affect me in a powerful and profound way because I am Cancerian. But even if you're not Cancerian, these kinds of gifts are available to you. So this is a powerful time to be doing manifesting, because here's the truth, folks. This is really true. God, source, creator, the infinite, the all that is infinitely abundant and infinitely resourceful. And it's not about lack and limitation and not having enough. And if anything, Jupiter in the sign of Cancer wants to show this to us. It wants to show us that it is God, the infinite, the divine, natural way of being, to give, to share, to be abundant, to be prosperous, to reward, in a sense, even though we're worthy and deserving because we exist, but at the same time to reward your efforts to being a conscious co-creator and consciously taking responsibility for the life experience that you have, to the capacity that you are able to. And you are infinitely powerful as a co-creator with the divine. But you have to use those gifts and talents and abilities in a conscious way. You have to learn how to use them with the kind of mastery. And even if you already think you're a masterful manifester, then getting in a circle of energy with like energy, where this is available to you and the energies are amplified, because wherever 2 or more are gathered, it is not just the power of 2, it's the power amplified by 11, right? That's what 2 is. It means 2 times 11, the power of 11. So get in a circle with other people where there's more than just you, and manifest with conscious, deliberate intention, manifest like a master, and work with the power of this planet Jupiter moving into Cancer, where you're in sacred community, creating in a conscious way the life that you want, the life that you are worthy and deserving of living, the life that you are capable of having, that is your highest fulfillment, where you are joyful and living in such a prosperous way that you can only give because you have so much to offer, right? That is you living your highest fulfillment and your highest joy, where you are so fulfilled, working in accordance with the divine. This is the time to do it this week. That's why I scheduled it this week, and that's why it is on the same week that the planet Jupiter moves into the house of Cancer. It's this Thursday, the 12th, and we are doing it by Zoom webinar. And you will learn about manifesting if you don't know how, but you will participate, even better, you will participate in a powerful energy circle with beings where you can call forward that which you are desiring. I'm telling you, this week alone, I just can't even tell you how much fabulous stuff started to happen, because I knew this was happening. I was working with it from a state of gnosis, in other words, knowing, and with a kind of divine certainty, which is energy you can call upon. These tools are strategies for living and the way we're meant to live in this reality. Even if you can't be there live, you'll get the recording, the energy and the power of the circle and the group intention together. Even if you're not there live, with the recording, you're still going to benefit hugely. So I will put the link, of course, in the notes to this. And of course, you can also head over to LoriSpagna.com And under the live events tab, you scroll down, you'll see right there, manifestation circle. It's a very fun game. I want to tell you, when I started doing manifestation, I mean, it used to be in the early days when I was living in Maui, it was just a fun way to play and see if it worked. And there were also times where I did it because literally I was coming from poverty back then. In my own mindset, I had to work through those issues. And I was just trying to manifest $20, right? I had this whole storyline. This is my book, Manifest Like a Master, which you can get that on Amazon. But I had this whole storyline about manifesting, and I needed money, and I made this whole story of how to find a $20 bill, because at that time, that was the most I could remember what it looked like. I couldn't even remember what, I'm sorry to say, what a $100 bill looked like back then. And I was trying to manifest this $20 bill and just find it on the roadside at a gas station. I finally let go of it. It just didn't work. And the moment I let go, the next day, I found a $20 bill in my wallet. I swear that was never there before, right? Years later, I was just playing with manifesting for the fun of it. And just for the fun of it, I was like, oh, I'm just going to manifest a plastic wiffle ball with a hole in it. Just for the fun of it, right? So I kept visualizing it, and then, I don't know, I did it for like a couple of hours in meditation, just visualizing it, and I put some energy in there, and then I let go of it. I forgot about it. I don't know if within a month, I had moved into a new house in Florida at that time, and I was unpacking a box that someone had left behind, and in there was a wiffle ball with a hole in it. So funny. I pulled it out of the box. I was like, oh my God, that's so funny, right? Okay, those are just silly little things maybe, but that's sometimes how you can get really good at manifesting, by practicing. Then when you develop your knowing that this is how it works, which is why I would do that stuff, then you can start manifesting big things, like a free car given to you, like literally this week, and a new home that meets every spec that you have, or is within your budget, or new clients, new students, whatever your dreams are. Because your dreams are the dreams that are in you, because God, Source, Creator put them there in the first place, the higher consciousness of you. So listen, this is more than just, it's a class, but it's also active participation through direct experience. This is what I always say. There's people all over my YouTube channel commenting and saying things like they haven't had the breakthrough they're looking for. They really want to have a direct experience, but they don't know how. They're listening to all the podcasts. They went to 2 weeks in Vipassana and nothing really happened. Well, you're not going to have a direct experience 2 weeks in Vipassana. You're just going to learn how to sit and quiet your mind. That's all Vipassana is worth. Like, I'm not that it's not great, but that's what it does, right? But if you want to have a direct experience in the non-physical, where you are consciously participating, not only with the divine intelligence of the universe, but your own divine team, the angels, the helpers, the healers, the guides, the masters, the teachers, the loved ones who are here to help you, to get more direct experience connected with them, to them, and your own higher self and the divinity within you, then join us for this. I can't make it more affordable for what I deliver, and how much you're going to grow and learn and expand through it, not to mention the fruits of your labor, the effortless ease and grace associated with using manifestation as a tool and practice in a high vibe circle with others, where the energies are amplified, not just by the power of 1 or 2, but by the power of 11 to 11,000, because that's the way that energy works when we're in sacred circle together, and we call on our team. You will learn so much through the direct experience, and you will have fabulous, magnificent manifestation of your hopes, wishes, goals, dreams, and desires. I can't even tell you how much the universe is now working for us with the wind at our back, and so many things can unfold for you positively. Don't miss this. You will love it. You will love it. And even if, like I said, even if you can't be there live, it doesn't matter, because the energies will be just as powerful when you're listening in replay, because that's the way the energy works when we gather like this. And you will learn and have direct experience, and through your direct experience, you will start to develop gnosis, which means you know. That doesn't happen in 30 minutes. You can't take a pill to develop that. You can't think, oh, a little 30-minute session is going to do it for me and fix. No, you got to get in there and actively participate in your own growth, in your own evolution, in your own mastery development. This is the time, like never before. And start letting the power of the universe that is now set up in your favor to start to make the transformation that you've been seeking forever. You know it. You've been seeking it forever. You've been going through lifetime after lifetime. All right. Even if you don't believe that, okay? You as a soul and an infinite being has been sticking around this earth plane waiting for this time to come, and the time is now. I hope you will join us. You will love it. And the only thing I'm sorry about is I didn't start promoting this sooner because it's so good and so much fun and so transformative. So join us for the Manifestation Circle. There will be live energy and support and teaching and, of course, an active participation circle where you will actively participate and have direct experience. It's Thursday, June 12th. Of course, you can get the recording if you can't be there live. Go to LoriSpagna.com, look at the drop-down menu under Work with Lori, and you'll see Manifestation Circle. You can register and join us there. I'm really excited about it. I haven't done one in a really long time. It's because now is the time. Please join us. All right, I'm looking forward to seeing you and being with you and manifesting with you then. And in the meantime, I'm sending you so much love. Farewell for now. Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks so much for listening today. If you loved the show and if you benefited in any way, if it helped you to up-level or expand your consciousness, if you gained any new insights or ideas, if it made you think or become more aware, or if there were some strategies or intuition that you may have benefited from in any way, would you please do me two easy and simple favors? First, if you would be willing to leave a review, it would mean the world to me. I'd be so grateful. And second, if you're willing to share this show with anyone else who would benefit, you can either post it on your social media or just email it to someone and share it with another person or any other people. It would be so awesome. This kind of thing is so helpful in expanding consciousness on the planet and helping others to benefit from this kind of teaching, which just simply isn't generally readily available in the mainstream. So sharing it really helps others benefit and helps our planet evolve and awaken. Plus, expressing gratitude and generosity in this way will also expand your capacity to give and receive even more. Either way, I just want to say thank you so much for being here and for participating and for sharing, and overall, just for being the magnificent, the spectacular, the brilliant, the fabulous, the wonderful you that you truly are, and for allowing yourself to be the very best version of you today and every day. All my love and gratitude to you.